Number 15. Bill Durham. We couldn't leave out this 1988 highlight, starring Susan Sarandon as a gorgeous baseball devotee who each year takes her pick of players from the Durham Bulls. This time around, Lelouch is Nuke, performed by none other than Tim Robbins. I wonder if Sarandon and Robbins, who had been a real-life couple, met on the set. I'm sure they did. Number 14. How Stella Got Her Groove Back. In this popular late 90s film, Angela Bassett plays an overworked, overstressed single mom who only straightens out her priorities and realizes what she wants in life after a steamy hookup with a 20 years younger hunk on a much-needed vacation. The movie, adapted by Terry McMillan from her semi-autobiographical novel, is pointedly boundary-breaking in its positive portrayal of a May-September relationship between a younger man and an older woman. Number 13. Drang. Drang is about an 18-year-old naive boy who just graduated from high school. At his summer job, he is seduced by the 36-year-old single mother, Sana. Soon he is drawn into a world of sensuality, and his acquaintance with Sana turns into an intense love affair which forces him to deal with his newly discovered sides. While watching the movie, you keep asking yourself, will he be able to question and review his decisions as he discovers unknown sides of himself? The character's experiences and struggles feel quite realistic. So does the acting. Number 12. And While We Were Here. While working on a writing project on the island of Ischia, a married woman, played by Bosworth, enters into an affair with a younger man. It's an Italy-set relationship drama that makes the most of the luminous beauty of its star through stunning locations, classical music score, and fashion sense, which should prompt viewers to immediately book vacation tickets to Italy, even if it might provoke anxiety in insecure spouses. The intention is to mimic Italian neo-realism. As an affecting romance between a woman caught between two worlds, it very nearly sticks the landing. Number 11. 5 to 7. Anton Yelkin, who we've regularly seen in the Star Trek films, is the central character of this film, directed by Victor Levin. 5 to 7 revolves around a struggling young writer, Brian, who lives in the NYC and meets up with a French middle-aged lady, Ariel, who has been married to a diplomat named Valerie with 2 kids. Both of them soon realize that they are attracted to each other. Ariel reveals that every day between 5 and 7 in the morning, herself and her husband are, owing to an agreement, allowed to have an affair with anyone, if the affair confines within these time limits. 5 to 7 is one of those films which open your eyes toward the various kind of complex relationships that exist around us. Number 10. The Piano Teacher. In Michael Haneke's dark psychological thriller about a woman's sadomasochistic relationship with her younger student, played by Benoît Magimel, based on a controversial novel by Frida Jenilek, Isabel Hubert plays Erika Kohut, a piano professor at the Vienna Music Conservatory who lives with her mother. Be warned, it's not an easy one to watch. Number 9. The Reader. Reader deals with a coming-of-age young man in the arms of a former concentration camp officer. Intelligent, absorbent, and sensitively realized, Winslet's haunting performance distinguishes the film as a cold, enigmatic, and existentially decimated woman. The Reader is set in 2 different timelines and is a beautifully flawed masterpiece that brilliantly depicts an enigmatic relationship between a teenager and an older woman, and years later when they meet in the courtroom and confront each other. Kate Winslet gives a performance of her lifetime and has deservedly been bestowed with an Academy Award for Best Actress in a Leading Role for her performance in the movie. Number 8. The Rebound. A 40-year-old divorcee attempts to create a new life in New York for her family as it embarks in a relationship with a much younger man, who is a 25-year-old good-looking babysitter. Sparks fly between the couple, but Sandy wonders if the relationship could last. The Rebound follows approximately the same formula as any other romantic comedy that comes before it. Zeta Jones does an adequate job as the cradle-robbing businesswoman in her position. She shows up comfortable in the skin of her character. The movie has its moments, coming from Justin Bartha. Number 7. Secret Love. The Schoolboy and the Mallwoman. A schoolboy falls in love with a 37-year-old woman. As if this wouldn't be enough, They are of different social classes, and she's married. The subject matter seems to be interesting and fresh, demonstrating clearly what happens when love goes madly for someone, regardless of social differences. Number 6. Adore. It would definitely be a no-no for most adults to come to dating your best friend's son, but that's not the case for the characters of Watson Wright. Adore has a very experimental storyline comprising 2 older women and their sons, and incidentally, the women fall for each other's sons, in this adaptation of Doris Lessing's The Grandmothers. Number 5. Unfaithful. Perhaps one of the greatest flicks of Diane Lane's career that became infamous for nudity and lovemaking with a younger man. Unfaithful, as the name implies, is the tale of a married woman with a young bookseller, an affliction that soon comes out of proportion. A nascent love tale which transforms into uncontrollable lust. Unfaithful is probably one of the best thrillers on this list, and definitely the one with a lot of nudity. Number 4. In the House. This is a delicious, teasing reflection on mentoring, the creative process, and the very nature of fiction, with its ability to conjure alternate lives and more fulfilling identities for both writer and viewer. It's charged with the same flavorful air of dangerous sensuality and subversive humor that first put its French director-writer on the map. A precocious student infiltrates a classmate's family and submits stories about it for a class. His teacher is shocked at first, but is quickly drawn into and complicit in the story, even as it crosses the line into dangerous territory. In certain respects, the viewer of In the House is put in some of the same positions of the characters. After a while, it seems to run out of places to go, but for most of its running time, it's a wickedly clever divertissement. Number 3. Notes on a Scandal. Cate Blanchett's free-spirited art teacher, Sheba Hart, sleeps with a 15-year-old student, but it's her friendship with a nosy coworker that leads to her ending up arrested for the affair. The lesson? Keep your underage trysts a secret from Judi Dench. Notes on a Scandal is an incredibly dynamic company in which no one succeeds, right to the end. Blanchett is brilliant as the naive teacher, realizing what she's doing is wrong, but then the older woman, beautifully played by Judi Dench, who lashes at her, is shocked at the extent of treachery. It's a sensual picture, but sometimes it's also scary. Number 2. Queen of Hearts. Anne, a successful lawyer and doting mother, places both her family and career at risk when she embarks on an affair with her young stepson. This deftly presses all the buttons to fuel our curiosity in how far things are going to go and what the consequences can be. And when events turn much darker, the well-managed pace and a certain sense of integrity remain paramount, even as shocking facets of Anne's character are revealed. Number 1. A short film about love. The way Kieslowski manages to portray the sheer tenderness of love here is simply beyond words. The film explores the relationship between a younger man and an older promiscuous woman whom he spies on from his window. She does not believe in love and is way beyond the naivety of a teenager who thinks he's in love, but is only infatuated with her. Kieslowski eventually grounds his story in the unexpected epiphany Magda experiences through the younger man. Watch this lyrical and affecting tale, and you'll be moved to reconsider your own views on the subject. Moreover, it remains one of the best romantic films ever made.